Welcome back, guys, to an episode of Talking Ball with JR. And now we are officially one day. We are 24 hours away from the World Cup kicking off and the summer officially beginning. So today's video, guys, we are going over my predictions for the World Cup, who I think is going to win it all. So, guys, you know when it comes to this, it ain't a prediction. It's a spoiler. It's a guarantee of what will happen. All right, guys. So for those who follow us on TikTok, you guys already know I've already given out my group predictions, so I'm not going to go over it again. These are my group predictions. Nothing has changed, really. Group A, Group B, Group C, Group D, all stay the same. Actually, sorry, Paraguay and Australia, I think I flipped them over. I think I have Paraguay going third now and Australia fourth, where before I had Australia third and Paraguay fourth. So I think that's the only change I made. But yeah, guys, go ahead, pause if you need to. But these are the teams that I have going to the next round. But as you guys know, the World Cup is bigger than it's ever been. So now their third place teams will also qualify. Not a big fan of that rule. And guys, the 8 teams that I will be picking are, I think you got to look at exactly what group you're in, right? You got to look at the weakest group or probably the strongest group, really. The teams that are really going to be battling out for points and struggling to get points. I think Japan will most definitely be one of those teams to make it. I think Ecuador will definitely be one of those teams to make it. I think Uruguay, even though I have them, being upset by Saudi Arabia, I think they will finish third. And I think that they will have a chance. I think Scotland will have a chance. I'm really big fans of them. Obviously, Scott McTominay is probably why I'm the biggest fan of them. And they're probably weaker in other areas. But I am a fan of Scotland, and I think that they can make some noise, and I am actually very concerned about them because it's very hard and difficult to beat those type of teams that are very physical and don't like to defend and don't like to attack. So it's very difficult, especially if your players aren't in form and hitting in all the cylinders. All right, guys, the 8 third place teams I've gone with are Uruguay, Japan, Ecuador, Korea Republic, Norway, Scotland, Congo, and Bosnia. Now, I'm be real with you though. These are some very strong squads still. Even though they're finishing third, they are very, very difficult teams to face. Teams like Ecuador are very difficult. Norway are very difficult. Uruguay are very difficult. Scotland, like I said, are very difficult. These are very, very difficult games, so I don't expect them to go out easy in the next round. All right, guys, starting off for the round of 32, we got Germany versus Scotland. Scotland, as much as I like you guys, I like the Germans better. Pause, no diddy. And I'm going with Germany to easily make it through to the next round. The first time in a long time in a World Cup where Germany seemed to have actually a very strong squad as well with an amazing manager and Julian Nagelsmann. So we'll see what they do. And I think they will make noise in this World Cup. So I have faith in them going far. France and Japan. Obviously, France have the most OP squad, even though half of the players aren't French and Mikel Olise can't even speak French. Then I'm going with France just because of pure talent. Now, Czech versus the host nation, Canada. Canada, unfortunately, will not be playing at home this time, though. They will be playing in LA in SoFi Stadium, I believe. And I think that Czech is a very solid squad. And Canada, obviously, like I said, guys, Alphonso Davies has been injured, and I think that's going to be a very, very big hindrance for them. So I think Czech will move on to the next phase. Netherlands and Morocco, guys, and this game is in Monterrey. And if you guys know anything about Monterrey, it is in high elevation. So, guys, this is going to be a very, very difficult game for the players themselves, especially because they won't be used to it. Even players who play there often aren't used to it. So I expect them to have a very, very difficult time. And Netherlands being the more physical team, I think they will be able to battle out with the elevation plus the heat. I think they'll be able to go out there and out-strengthen Morocco and give them the business and take care of business against Morocco and move on to the next phase. Colombia versus Croatia. Colombia, I'm sorry to do this to you guys, but I think it's GG. It's over for y'all. Croatia will move on. They're too good of a squad, especially against Colombia, where they're definitely not the Colombia of before, right? So this is definitely a weaker Colombia. And I think Croatia, who are older, I think they will be able to manage it. And I think they will be able to win this game. Spain versus Algeria. And Algeria is a team that I actually have my eyes on. I think they have incredible players. I think they have players that will be very difficult to mark. And I think they will have a very good tournament. But I think Spain is one of the biggest. I said it's Spain. Spain is one of the biggest teams in the World Cup. And I think that Yamal would most likely be back and healthy by this time. And I think that Spain will easily qualify against Algeria. Turkey versus Bosnia, guys. And Turkey is a squad that I very much like. And I like Bosnia too, but Turkey, I think they will handle this. I think it'll be a very difficult game for them, but I think that they will be able to win. Maybe a 1-1 draw that goes to penalties that they win, or maybe they win the game 1-0. I don't expect many goals, but I do expect them to go out there and win. Now, Belgium versus Korea. Sorry, Koreans. it's over for y'all. You guys can enjoy sun while here in the United States, but it will be over for you guys after playing Belgium. Now, Brazil versus Sweden, guys. This will not be an easy game for Brazil whatsoever. They will get tested right away in a round of 13, and we will learn a lot about this Brazil squad going up against Sweden. They are a very difficult team to deal with, especially offensively with Isak, Gaio Carez, and they are very, very difficult on the ball. They are extremely good at defense, and I think that they will have a good tournament. I think they will have a very solid tournament, but I think Brazil will be able to stop them. Carlo Ancelotti seems to have rejuvenated this team. I think him bringing in Neymar is even better for this Brazil team, and it's added, I feel like, an added pressure into this Brazil team to go out there and perform for their idol in Neymar. And guys, if you guys remember with this Brazil squad, there usually is a theme when it comes to these World Cups, especially the ones that they win. In 2002, all the players seem to be playing for Ronaldo. If you guys don't know, R9 has suffered ACL injuries and was basically hobbling into the 2002 World Cup, and then went out there and outperformed the Brazil squad. Didn't look great coming into that 2002 World Cup, and then went out there and didn't lose a game. So guys, I'm just saying, in 1994, it was for Romario. Romario was basically on his way out, and then they went out there to play for Romario. Bebeto went and beat United States at home July 4th in the United States, beat United States, and then went out there and won the World Cup. So I'm just saying, there's a theme. And also, guys, I'm not one of those guys to, believe in theories and everything. But just letting you guys know, World Cups for Brazil, they went 1970 until 1994 without winning one. They went 24 years without winning one. And guess where they won it? They won it in America, guys. And now it's been 24 years since they won it again in 2002. So, guys, I'm just saying, is it written in the stars? Senegal versus Ivory Coast, guys. Ivory Coast, you guys already know how I feel about this team. I am incredibly, incredibly excited about this team. I think they will make a lot of noise. I think they have a lot of potential young players that will get big, big moves. And I think Ivory Coast will be a team to look out for. Senegal is very good. And Senegal, I think they'll have a little chip on their shoulder, especially if you guys have been following what's been going on with them. I think that they'll be going out there and actually wanting to prove themselves and go out there and play a very, very good game. But I hate to break it to them, I think Ivory Coast will go out there and win. Shout out Yando on Monday. I expect you to get an assist or something here. Now, Mexico versus Uruguay in Mexico City. This host nation, I think, will not be getting eliminated against Uruguay. I'm sorry, but the Mexican fans in Mexico City versus Uruguay, it seems like they won't lose, right? That just seems like the logical thing is Mexico won't lose in Mexico City. So Mexico, go ahead and move on to the next round. Now, heading over to England versus Congo. I know Congo fans are going to bring the vibes. They're going to bring the dancing. They're going to bring the flair. But I think it's going to be over for them in a round of 32. I hate to break it to them. I have a lot of Congolese friends, but I think its chances are done as soon as you play England. So England, you move on to the next round. Argentina versus Saudi Arabia. And if you guys remember very clearly, this World Cup champions actually lost to Saudi Arabia in the last World Cup. And this is where everybody thought that Argentina were about to get out of the World Cup and weren't even going to be making it out of the group stages. So I think that Messi and Argentina are going to have a little bit of revenge in their mind against Saudi Arabia. And I think they're going to take care of business. United States of America versus Egypt in Dallas. Oh my God. In America Stadium, right? That's what they call it, right? That's what the Cowgirls call it. In America Stadium in AT&T. Oh my God, the US of A on July 3rd, Egypt. I hate to break it to you, but this is the worst team to come up against at this time. July 3rd, they're going to be feeling patriotic. It's Texas, baby. Guys, for Switzerland versus Ecuador, I'm a big fan of Swiss, but I'm also a big fan of this Ecuador team. I think this Ecuador team is very, very good. I think they're very, very solid. And I think Moses Caicedo will be the heart of that team. And I think Moses Caicedo will have a phenomenal tournament. So I think that Ecuador will be moving on past Switzerland. If you guys know anything about Switzerland, they are notorious for losing on penalties in the World Cup. So I hate to break it to y'all. I think they do it again. Portugal versus Norway, guys, and the greatest striker on the planet right now, Erling Haaland, is going up against probably the greatest player of all time in Cristiano Ronaldo. I know some people are surprised they even made it to America. If you know, you know. But he's here and he's ready to play, and he probably has the most talent in all of the World Cup with this Portuguese squad and probably the most informed team going into this World Cup. So Portugal are a very, very big contenders, and I think that they won't lose against Norway. I'm sorry, Haaland, but I don't think that your team has enough. But I think that in the future, Norway will be a team to really worry about. Now, guys, for the round of 16, Germany versus France. Oh, my God, in Philadelphia. Ooh. wee, that's gonna be one hell of a game on July 4th. Sipping a little bev while enjoying some World Cup vibes. For you guys that don't know, July 4th is America Independence Day. So you guys know the girls are gonna be out, the vibes are gonna be fire, and then it's gonna be a World Cup time, and it's gonna be even better, guys. So Germany versus France, please give me that on July 4th. But Germany, I don't think you guys will be going through. I think that your tournament will end here, and I think that you guys will lose to the French. Netherlands versus Czech, guys, and I am very excited for this game. I think Netherlands is one of those teams that will be able to upset a lot of teams, and I think that Netherlands will go far, and I think that Netherlands will beat Czech. Easy does it. Now heading over to Croatia versus Spain, I'm going to go, guys, with an actual upset. I think this team would actually beat Croatia, and sorry, not Croatia. I'm going with an upset with Spain losing and Croatia actually beating Spain. I know, guys, that's crazy to think, but the World Cup always has that one team that we don't expect to lose and that one team that we don't expect to win. And I think Croatia is that team, and I think Spain is the team to lose. Belgium, guys, as big a fan I am as Turkey, I hope Yildiz will be back, and I think he'll be ready for this game. But I don't think that they will have enough for this Belgium squad. Kevin De Bruyne, guys, watch out for Kevin De Bruyne. He might be turning the clock for this World Cup. He got fit and ready for this World Cup just in time, and I think that he's going to be playing outstanding. Look out for Kevin De Bruyne. Now, guys, New York, New Jersey, MetLife Stadium, Brazil versus Ivory Coast. If I could afford a ticket, I would go, but obviously, you guys see these ticket prices? I ain't going to no damn World Cup game. I'm watching this shit from home. But, guys, for me, this is going to be straight vibes because these are two teams, obviously, I mess with, I like, and obviously I am in love with Brazil because I am Brazilian. But Ivory Coast, as much as I am big fans of y'all, like I said, Don Carlo has come here to dominate like he always does. And when it comes to tournaments, that man knows how to win. So Brazil will be moving on to the next phase. Now, guys, Mexico versus England. I know I did say Mexico can't lose in Mexico City. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it's written on the stars. But you're going up against England, mate. You're going up against England. You're going up against Harry Kane. And I don't think you guys got anybody to handle Harry Kane. I'm sorry. So, Harry Kane, you might mess around and get a hat trick in this game. So, Harry Kane in England, you're moving on. Argentina versus the USA. USA. And I think that Lionel Messi playing in MLS, this is exactly why he came to the MLS, is to be ready for this World Cup. So now, guess what he's going to do? He's going to rip out the hearts of all these Americans and spit on it and then throw it on the floor and stomp on it. Messi is moving on to the next phase. Portugal versus Ecuador, guys, and as big fans I am of Ecuador, I think that offensively they will struggle going up against Portugal. I don't think that they will have much of the chances, nor will I think they will be able to execute on those chances, especially because they don't have that good of attacking threats. So I think that they will lose to Portugal. Portugal is a very, very balanced squad, and I think that they'll be able to shift and change and be able to play against any team, really. And I think that they will have an easy time against Ecuador. For the quarterfinals, guys, we got France versus Netherlands. And I think, guys, that right here, this right here is going to be a phenomenal game, guys. It's going to be an incredible game to watch. But now I'm really not sure what I want to go with here. I'm not sure if I want to go with France. I'm not sure if I want to go with Netherlands because I'm a big fan of both of these squads. Obviously, France is very, very talented and very, very good. The fullbacks you may ask questions about, but when you're asking questions about freaking Koundé and Theo Hernandez, I'm pretty sure you're okay. So I think France, I think you will be moving on. Netherlands, I'm sorry, but you're going to fall short. Now, heading over to SoFi for Croatia versus Belgium. I think Belgium will have a phenomenal tournament. Jeremy Doku was one of those players I told you guys to look out for. And I think that Jeremy Doku will put this team on his back with KDB. And I think that he will boss it with him. And I think it will be Belgium moving on to the semis. Guys, it's funny how things work out. July 11th, Miami, Brazil versus England. Letting you guys know, Miami is basically the Brazilian second home, right? These Brazilians love themselves some Miami. You know what I'm saying? Especially Neymar. Neymar's going to feel right at home in Miami. So, will that distract the players? Or that even have them, feeling great? You know what I'm saying? Sitting in the beach, relaxing, having a good time, playing some, football-y, having a phenomenal time. And then maybe it's the English guys. Maybe it's the English guys that are having too much fun. Maybe they're the ones that are distracted by everything because they're not used to this lifestyle. Huh? Maybe because they're used to the freaking rain all the time and bricks and cobblestone everywhere, that the first time they go to Miami and then see them palm trees, they might not be ready for the game. They might not be ready. Or Brazilians might just end up out here in a flop like they always do in the semis or the quarters where we at right now. So I'm not sure where to go here because I'm not a big fan of this England team. Hate to break it to you. I don't think you guys are going to win it, but I do think they are a very good squad and definitely a more balanced squad than Brazil. So with that being said, I don't know who to go with. I'm really stuck. So I obviously my heart wants me to pick Brazil, especially because this game will be played on my wedding anniversary. So you know what I'm saying, if I can get one gift, it will be Brazil moving on to the semifinals. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen. And I think England will end. Who am I kidding? Who am I kidding? England ain't ending our tournament. If you guys remember 2002, we actually whipped that candy ass, the golden generation, whatever the golden generation that was, we whipped that candy ass. Go ask Seaman where the hell that freaking Ronaldinho put that freaking ball. He's still looking for it. He's still looking for it with that freaking ball. Now, I do think it was a cross. You know, I don't think he tried to shoot it. So, Seaman, I'm sorry for that. But, so guys, Brazil will beat England and they will be moving on to the semifinals. It's not coming home, baby. Not this time, at least. Now, Portugal versus Argentina. Now, this would be one hell of a quarterfinal. Messi versus Ronaldo for the last final time. Oh my God, that would be in the stars. This I didn't even know it's possible. I didn't even know this was possible, but it is possible. And if this happens, oh my God. And it's going to be in Kansas City, so you know the atmosphere is going to be crazy. If you guys don't know about Kansas City fans, they're absolutely nutter butter. So guys, Ronaldo fans, you guys are going to be really happy with this one. Portugal's moving on. Portugal is heading to the semifinals, baby. And I think the Portuguese will be facing Brazil and Atlanta. Now, guys, for Brazil versus Portugal, as you guys can tell by the tone of voice, this time it's over. Right here, guys, it is over for Brazil. We will lose to the men that colonized us in Portugal. And we will hear Portuguese fans mock Brazilians for the next 4 years as they celebrate heading to the World Cup final. And I think it's GG for Brazil here. I think Portugal will move on. I know that's sacrilegious of me as a Brazilian, but I think it's GG. I think Portugal have the best squad in the damn freaking I think they're the best squad. You know what I'm saying? Even Ronaldo's old ass, they're still a really good squad. You know what I mean? So I think Bruno's gonna put the backpack on. Honestly, I think Bruno's gonna go put the backpack on and take this team far. And I think that they will win the World Cup. I think Portugal will win the World Cup. I think that this squad is the best they've ever had in a very long time. Ronaldo, there's no more excuses. These players are playing for you. This is your last World Cup. Go out there and finish the story. Being said, guys, my player of the tournament will be Bruno Fernandes. I think that he'll have a phenomenal World Cup. Don't be surprised if he ends up breaking the assist record. Just letting you know. Don't. He likes to fish for them assists. So don't be surprised if against Uzbekistan, this man is crossing the ball every single time he gets it. So I think that Portugal winning will have a big part of him winning the player of the tournament. And I think that Bruno will win it. The young player of the tournament, guys, will actually be, in my opinion, Jan Duamunde. I am big on this guy. I think he is so good. And I think that he'll have a phenomenal tournament for Ivory Coast. And for me, guys, this will be one hell of a World Cup if this actually happens. If this plays out how we just did there, if I just predicted every freaking match correctly, my days, boys, if this is my World Cup, I wrote the best script ever. I'm just letting you guys know. I wrote the best script ever if this is the World Cup. Just letting you guys know. So, with that being said, guys, I can't wait for tomorrow. Come through the Twitch stream. We are live for most of the games in the World Cup. Probably the biggest games in the World Cup we will be live for. And we will be live for the opener, of course, versus Mexico versus South Korea. We will be there, guys, at 3 p.m. So come through to the Twitch. It'll be twitch.tv/DaveMVJr. Come through and watch the channel and just have a good time. Have some fun with your boys. Relax. Enjoy. So, guys, with that being said, deuces. Goodbye. Peace.